Junaid Jamshed has finally arrived. We're on our way to a first venue. Junaid, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I so much look forward to being part of this event, and to tell you the truth, I have been looking forward to it for a long time. Very grateful to Miss Safia for actually planning this out. And Durban, you know, one of my most favorite cities in South Africa. Couldn't have been better.
First things first, the trip itself, how was the flight and that sort of thing?
It's interesting because I was actually quite excited about coming here. So those 10-12 hours, they went by very quickly.
Yes, correct.
The only downside to it was that today is actually my birthday.
I know, I've been briefed about that, but I've also been briefed not to question you too much about it.
No, you can ask me, because I'm very excited because I just turned 50 today.
Okay, that's a big number.
Yeah, that's a big number.
I don't mean big in terms of number, but I mean it's a round number.
And so it's my golden jubilee. The initial part of it, which was, my flight was at 5:45 a.m.
Yes.
in the morning.
Yeah.
So from 12 o'clock till 3 o'clock, I could get to spend time with my family.
Yes, which you needed to.
Which I had to, because because otherwise my wife would have been very, very angry. And you know, it's amazing that say maybe the better part of the 3rd of September I'm spending with you people.
Yes, of course. Now we've been advertising for a long time. You're coming, and there's been a bit of interest, and people are watching the music videos, if you want to call it that. How do you feel now, being, especially right now, knowing that the tour really starts now, and we're in for a very busy week?
See, the thing is, I remember 8-10 years ago, this thing wasn't so prevalent. You know, people weren't used to coming to Nasheed concerts.
Yes.
There was no concept of a Nasheed concert. Yes. We literally had to convince our ulama and our clergy that, you know, this is something beautiful. Please bring your family.
Aspect there.
Yes, because it was never done.
Yes.
And I still remember that I went to a lot of ulama, and I actually invited them, and I said, no, you're not going to come alone. You're going to bring your family, your wife, your children.
Yes.
And I want them to see what we are doing. So they attended that concert, and they were overwhelmed.
Yes.
So it was after that, when I got their backing, that I got my heart became bigger, and because I had been doing this back home in Pakistan, I knew that all it had was positive effects.
Now, I know that we experienced the same dynamic with television. People were wary of television first, especially the conservative ulama.
Yeah.
But now people are saying, well, the West is kind of bombarding us with images from Hollywood and that kind of thing. How else are we going to reach out to the youth? So we need to look at that dynamic. And I suppose you were crossing that same bridge.
Yes, I honestly telling you, I am a little careful.
Yes.
I try not to infuse music in my nasheeds.
Yeah.
Because I understand that a huge following of mine is very conservative, and I want those people, and I want their children to follow what is allowed by Allah and His Prophet, and what is allowed by our ulama. So I try and stick to it to the best of my abilities.
Yes. I think we all have different approaches to how we're trying to perhaps reach the same goal.
Yes.
And I think that's the important thing. I know that this tour for you has a component of social responsibility and charity attached to it, and I think that's a very important component. Now that you landed here, do you sometimes feel the family is far away, and you know, does it bring, or do you have a special message to them now that you've landed here?
To my wife, I've landed safe and sound in one piece. But you know, I have been living my life out of a suitcase for almost 27 years now, and I've gotten pretty used to it, and sometimes the only difficult part is to explain your wife and your family that these people around me, I have a huge responsibility towards them as well. You know, when I come here, some part of me stays here forever.
Yes.
You see, if I keep missing my wife and my children, I may not be able to do this anymore.
Correct.
And I think that actually is one of the great virtues of going out in the path of Allah sometimes, you know. When you go out, you get to learn that you need to do a lot of things for somebody else's child as well.
Correct, yes.
And you have to do something for others as well. And it is a great feeling. May Allah Rabbul Izzat reward each and everyone who's doing it. And may I get the opportunity to come here as often as possible.
Going one step forward, what do you see or what do you foresee this week? What can your fans expect to receive from you in that way?
Yeah, this is, I think, a lot of new nasheeds, lots of new nasheeds, and a lot of, I mean, apart from reading nasheeds, I love talking to my fans here in South Africa, talking to the people here. People are generally very, they know a lot about Deen here in this country,
Yes.
you know, and I travel all over the world. I tell you, you people here in South Africa are very lucky that you get to practice it the way you want it.
Correct, yes.
Right. So generally people here in South Africa, they know a lot about their Deen. So when you speak to them, you feel that energy coming back from the audience to yourself. That sort of keeps the adrenaline high.
Correct.
And I used to miss this a lot. You know, for the last 3 years when I haven't come here, I miss this a lot. So I think a lot of interaction with the crowd, a lot of new nasheeds, talking to them, trying to understand what they'd like. Inshallah, let the right time come. I seriously plan to ask Safia to, invite Zanbika Sahab to Pakistan, you know.
Yes. Now I know that you've been doing some work with Native Deen.
Yes.
Also, just 1 or 2 lines about that and what can we expect from that?
You see, they are great musicians, great artists, and most of all, they're great singers. So I wanted to collaborate with them.
Yes.
So we did about 4 nasheeds together, and we recorded, and they came out brilliant. I was just blown away working with them.
Shane, I know we're on our way to an event and you must be already tired. So we're going to catch up with you. I know that I'm spending a couple of days with you.
Perfect.
And,
I look so much forward to it.
And we'll chat a bit later.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.